So, Tomorrow Bio Together, also known as TXT, has entered a global partnership with UNICEF to launch the so-called Together for Tomorrow campaign, aimed at supporting the mental health of children and adolescents worldwide. I thought this was a big deal, super cool, so I decided to make a video about it. So they had a signing ceremony in New York just now, and Subin delivered a heartfelt speech, which I'm going to talk about and translate for you. I will also translate the interview that they had, interview video that they made after the signing ceremony. Now, check this out. TXT and Big Hit Music will donate 14 million US dollars to UNICEF over 2 years, funding programs, advocacy, youth specialist training, and research. And yeah, I thought this was super cool. So let's talk about it. Now, what this reminded me was this, and in fact, another fan has noticed too. TXT's their new UNICEF partnership for youth mental health feels like a natural continuation of the path that BTS helped carve out with the Love Myself campaign. So if you remember, back in 2021, BTS has renewed their partnership with UNICEF to continue the Love Myself campaign, which began in 2017. Wow, that's been almost 10 years, 8, 9, 10 years. And the campaign focuses on ending violence and neglect while promoting self-esteem and emotional well-being for children and young people. And as part of the renewal, BTS and Big Hit Entertainment pledged over 1 million US dollars in donations. Plus proceeds from Love Myself merchandise and a portion of Love Yourself album sales. And since its launch, the campaign has raised nearly 3 million US dollars worldwide for UNICEF's work as of 2021 October. And in their message, BTS emphasized how the campaign has also helped them grow as individuals, while UNICEF highlighted the importance of the group's message of empathy, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic when children faced increased risk of neglect, abuse, and mental health challenges. And through concerts, like UN speeches and global outreach, BTS has used this platform to encourage love, kindness, and open conversations about well-being. Now, while BTS emphasized self-love and ending violence, TXT is now expanding the focus to emotional resilience and mental health, specifically for young people. And together, I think both projects really highlights how HYBE artists, specifically in this case, Big Hit Music artists, are using their influence not just for music, but to build safer, more supportive spaces for the next generation. And indeed, music for healing, that really reigns true. Music and artists for healing. Now, let me briefly go through one of the articles in Korean that I found, and I will translate to you. But I will, what you see here is the official UNICEF press release article. Meanwhile, I will read you something different, okay? So TXT has partnered with UNICEF to support the mental health of children and adolescents around the world. And I'm reading this article for more details to deliver, okay? On September 30th, Big Hit Music under HYBE signed a global partnership agreement with UNICEF headquarters in New York and the Korean Committee for UNICEF. Through this partnership, UNICEF and Tomorrow By Together will launch the global campaign Together for Tomorrow, which focuses on creating an environment where children and youth can freely express emotions, build confidence, ask for help when needed, and develop social emotional skills essential for healthy growth. The signing ceremony at UNICEF headquarters in New York was attended by Tomorrow By Together, HYBE APAC CEO Yoo Dong-ju, UNICEF's Young Leaders, UNICEF Executive Director Catherine Russell, UNICEF Deputy Executive Director Kitty van der Heijden, Secretary General of UNICEF Korea Cho Min-jin, UNICEF USA Goodwill Ambassador Justin Min, and Deputy Permanent Representative of Korea to the UN Kim Sang-jin. So yeah, a lot of important figures attended, and I guess these people in the photo are the young leaders, UNICEF's young leaders. During his speech, Subin reflected Over the past 6 years, we have shared stories of growth through music. We have expressed worries, fears, and hopes for tomorrow, and many people told us that they found comfort in our songs. From this, we learned that expressing emotions is a sign of strength. He added, through this campaign with UNICEF, we want to create a space where children and adolescents worldwide can express their feelings freely. He further emphasized, this partnership is a natural outcome of our music journey, our personal beliefs, and our shared values. We are deeply grateful to UNICEF for believing in our sincerity and supporting us fully. And yeah, he looked super sharp and he did it really well. Yeah, I admire him for doing that. He must have been really nervous. And in fact, TXT members shared through their DMs how nerve-wracking the event was. And I could feel that. TXT also joined a Q&A session with 20 UNICEF youth leaders discussing the power of music in supporting emotional well-being. UNICEF youth leaders, their ages range from 14 to 24, according to this article. And they stressed that empathy, kindness, and inclusion are the keys to protecting mental health. Globally, 1 in 7 adolescents struggles with mental health issues, most of which begin before the age of 18. However, stigma and lack of resources prevent many people from seeking help. In Korea, 73% of adolescents who died by suicide have shown no prior warning signs. Oh wow, yeah. And half of teens feel unable to openly discuss their mental struggles. Yeah, whenever I read about like the suicide issue in Korea, it just breaks my heart. In fact, I have lost some friend of mine due to suicide. As part of the partnership, TXT and Big Hit Music will donate $1.4 million to UNICEF over the next 2 years and will also help raise additional funds. The donations will support direct mental health programs for children, training of youth specialists, and research on mental health. The article says, UNICEF Executive Director Catherine Russell stated, young people often fear being stigmatized if they raise their voices and struggle to find effective coping methods for well-being. Thanks to Tomorrow by Together's message of empathy and resilience, we can now speak more openly about mental health and equip youth with the skills they need to thrive emotionally, socially, and professionally. And yes, I think, TXT also, but BTS, I think the many people who openly say that their music have saved their lives is because these artists, openly and honestly say that it's okay to struggle and it's okay to be vulnerable. And that's something that they've been delivering through the message they've been delivering through music and lyrics and speeches, So that's incredible. UNICEF Korea Secretary General Cho Mi-jin added, mental health for children and adolescents is no longer an issue we can overlook. This global campaign is a starting point of building a safety net where young people are listened to, respected, and empowered to grow in a healthy way. So, incredible. Here are some more photos. I think this is Catherine Russell, Executive Director of UNICEF. Now, let me translate you 2 videos. First of all, here was the event, the summary video of the event. So first, they posed for a photo. Man, they cannot go wrong with suit and tie, black suit and tie. They look super sharp. And then they did a handshake with the director, executive director, took photos, and then the event. So Subin said, according to the footage that I watched, in the beginning, he spoke in English. Through our musical journey, we have learned that expressing emotions is a sign of strength. Now, with our campaign with UNICEF, we want to help create a safe and inclusive space where young people can freely share their feelings. And then he said in Korean, our team name, Tomorrow by Together, means you and I, though different, come together with one dream to build a better tomorrow. This dream is something we have cherished for a long time and how we want to share it with you as we continue to create a brighter future together. The campaign with UNICEF will begin in full from 2026, so we ask for your love and support as we take this meaningful step forward. Thank you. So Subin did a great job. And I've heard that he worked on this speech for a long time, despite his busy schedule, so that he can be familiar with the speech while having eye contact with the audience, right? And then Yeonjun said, I think Together for Tomorrow is a campaign that shows just how precious it is to express yourself freely, have conversations with each other, and treat one another with respect. Subin, no, wait, was it Subin? Oh, I thought Subin said something more. Here, Taehyun said, if you notice a friend next to you looking tired or going through a tough time, I believe that even a small gesture, like saying a few kind words, can help us take steps toward a better tomorrow. And then Hyunin Kai said, in life, everyone faces hardships or difficult times at some point. That's why we hope our songs can bring more people strength and comfort when they need it. Now, those of you whose bias is Pumgyu, let me now turn to this video where they had a short interview. And there, Pumgyu spoke. Alright, so first of all, the title of this video is TXT, Caring for Children's Mental Health Worldwide, UNICEF Global Campaign Together for Tomorrow Partnership Interview. I'll attach a link to this video in the description of the video that you're watching right now. And I'm translating because they didn't have any subtitles for this one, okay? Let's see. First, they said this. Hello, we're Tomorrow by Together, and Subin started off. We're truly honored to be joining UNICEF for the Together for Tomorrow mental health campaign. Especially today, we had the chance to give a speech at UNICEF headquarters in New York, and it was such a meaningful moment for me. It's an experience I will never forget for the rest of my life. And this just reminds me, they are currently on a tour, right, in the US. And it's amazing how they, included this event as part of their schedule. So that's awesome. Pumgyu said, thinking about how the value of togetherness we have shared through our music has led to this partnership makes it even more special. And it also gives us the determination to work even harder moving forward. And Yeonjun says, today, we officially signed the partnership at UNICEF headquarters in New York with the Deputy Executive Director of UNICEF, the Secretary General of UNICEF Korea, and many others in attendance. We are very grateful. This gave us a stronger sense of responsibility. And Hyunin Kai said, in response to the question, what's the message that you'd like to deliver through the activities of this campaign? He said, I believe that expressing emotions honestly and empathizing with others really helps mental health. We have experienced this ourselves through music. When we put sincerity into our songs, there were always people who felt it and resonated with us. Through this campaign, we hope children and young people can feel the warmth of others and draw courage and strength from it. Taehyun said, with Together for Tomorrow, we want to create a safe space for children and teens to express their emotions freely. The full campaign will start in 2026, and if possible, we would love to include activities that fans can also take part in. Pumgyu continued, we also hope to meet children who truly need comfort, spend time with them, and become a source of strength for one another. Just like the adults who gave me warmth when I was young, I would be truly happy if I could become that kind of supportive adult for someone else. Nice. Yeonjun said, starting next year, Tomorrow by Together will launch this global mental health campaign with UNICEF, and we hope this partnership can serve as a catalyst for a brighter tomorrow for children and youth. And Subin said, until now, we have given strength through our music, but now we will be able to deliver hope in new ways. We believe it will be a very meaningful project, and we are really looking forward to it. Please show lots of interest and support for our activities with UNICEF. Thank you. This has been Tomorrow by Together. Thank you. Man. So what do you guys think? I feel like this is a big deal for several reasons. First of all, like we talked about in the beginning, like TXT taking the torch from BTS, so to say. So BTS Love Myself campaign with UNICEF was unprecedented It wasn't just a celebrity endorsement, but a long term partnership that raised millions of dollars and opened conversations about self love, violence prevention, and youth well being. And now, Tomorrow by Together, stepping into a new UNICEF global campaign is more than just another philanthropic gesture, because it signals a generational passing of the torch within HYBE or Big Hit. BTS paved the way by emphasizing self-love and ending violence, while TXT is expanding the conversation to mental health, resilience, and emotional expression. So I think this continuity shows HYBE is institutionalizing a legacy of social impact across its artists, which don't is great. And second of all, mental health as a central theme, because what sets this campaign, Together for Tomorrow campaign, apart is its direct focus on youth mental health. And if I remember correctly, according to the article, UNICEF reports that 1 in 7 adolescents worldwide faces mental health challenges. And for some of you who are watching this, maybe you are part of that statistics. Yet, stigma and lack of resources prevents most from seeking help. And in Korea, especially, which is the nation infamously known for the highest suicide rate. Can you believe that? I acknowledge, I'm aware of the fact that Korea is number one in surprisingly many aspects, but number one suicide rate, that's just incredibly tragic, and they have maintained that status for multiple years. You know what I'm saying? So in Korea, especially, where conversations about mental health are often silenced, TXT openly discussing empathy, kindness, and the need for safe spaces. I think it carries, enormous weight. Now, this is not just symbolic, once again, because it reframes, idols as not only entertainers but also advocates for critical global issues that affect their own fan base and the general public even. And I think for Gen Z listeners who relate to TXT's themes of growth, vulnerability, and self-expression, I think this message could land very powerfully. And also, this is it's not a one-off campaign video, because TXT and Big Hit Music have committed how much? $1.4 million over 2 years, along with additional fundraising. That means concrete programs, youth specialist training, and advocacy and research will be funded. And the campaign is set to officially launch in next year, 2026, giving it a multi-year horizon, not just a promotional cycle. And the fact that UNICEF top leadership and HYBE executives attended the New York signing really highlights how seriously both organizations are treating this partnership. And also, I thought what stands out from this event is that TXT members themselves, Subin, Yeonjun, Beomgyu, Taehyun, and Hyunin spoke about their personal connection to this issue, because they talked about how music helped them process emotions and how small gestures of kindness matter, and how they want to be supportive adults for children who need warmth. I thought that part was especially heartwarming. And that makes the campaign feel authentic, not corporate. TXT isn't just a face on a poster. They are articulating values they've been singing about for years, and that is growth, vulnerability, and togetherness. And like I mentioned, again, BTS UN speeches already pushed K-pop into the realm of global cultural diplomacy. And TXT's UNICEF partnership, I think, continues that trajectory, making K-pop not just Korea's cultural export, but a global youth voice and advocacy. And when you have artists with millions of followers linking their identity not only to music but to empathy, respect, and mental health, these values, I think it could shift the image of idols from being seen as purely entertainers to social leaders. And for young fans worldwide, it could normalize conversations about feelings, mental health, and kindness. So this is great. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, I am aware of the fact that UNICEF and UN, these global organizations, have lost their power, especially recently, due to many geopolitical reasons. And some might say that they will lose even more, I don't know, like standing of or reputation or power in the near future. But still, they are doing what they can. And I think that doesn't, make this event any less meaningful. And I sincerely hope that these donations, this fund, millions of dollars that TXT and Big Hit will be donating, and also from BTS, these funds will be used efficiently and effectively. You know what I'm saying? Helping make real changes. So, what do you guys think? What do you think about TXT stepping into a global UNICEF partnership, for example? And mental health is still a sensitive subject in many places. So, how do you think idols speaking openly about emotions and resilience can help break the stigma? And if you were designing this campaign, what kinds of activities or projects would you want TXT and UNICEF to focus on for young people? And TXT mentions wanting to involve fans in the campaign starting in 2026. What kind of fan-driven initiatives do you think could make the biggest impact? And lastly, for those of you who have found comfort in TXT music, how do you personally connect their songs to mental health and emotional support? Let me know your thoughts. And I've made a comment on how this kind of reminds me of like passing of torch from BTS to TXT, right? So who knows? Maybe in the future, Cortis, the little brother group of BTS and Tomorrow together, maybe they will be doing a similar thing in the future at UNICEF or UN, and they've been killing it. I'm paying attention to this group as well. All right. Once again, good stuff, and congratulations to TXT, Big Hit staff, everyone who was involved with this project, and good luck to everyone. All right. Let me know your thoughts by writing comments, and when you do so, let's stay positive, respectful, and classy. Thank you guys. Peace, love. Bye bye.